if you've come into contact with this video and if you've come into contact with Vipassana, then you know deep down that there's a good karma that has brought you to this, and maybe there's a reason that you watch this video. And hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Bianca, and of course this is the Bianca Fuchko Fitness channel, and I am so sorry that I haven't posted any content for the last 5 weeks. I know it's been a while. There has been a lot of stuff happening, but I am back. But today's video is going to be something a little bit different. As you guys can see, I'm actually in a Dharmashala, which is also part of my Vipassana, the good karma that's coming into my life, or it has been coming into my life into the past years, as I was given the opportunity to start Vipassana meditation in 2015, thereabouts. So I'm actually here, and I just wanted to be myself in this video. I wanted to show you guys, or like be my raw self, and really explain how this last sort of it's actually 11 days. So we had the last discourse this morning with Goenka, the pre-recorded videos, and just coming out of that, how I've been feeling, and explain to you guys a little bit about the course and how I feel that everybody, absolutely everybody, should try this 10-day Vipassana meditation course, and how much it changed my life, and everything from wanting to run away, and like what happened on the 4th day, and you know, being there, how it feels like, why I think you should be doing it. So I want to keep this video quite raw and also quite short, just to get to the points. And if anybody has questions, of course, feel free to email me. You guys can find me on Instagram, whatever. So Vipassana meditation, what is Vipassana meditation? I don't know the literal translation, but it is observing your reality as it is in this present moment. So in any given moment, we have the now, we have the present, we have the present, the future, and we have the past. And Vipassana meditation is nothing like maybe those meditations like feeling yourself and trying to get like the wave flow and like feeling good. You're literally facing your own worst nightmare. You're yourself. You're sitting there for 10 hours a day. So you start with just a little bit about the course. You start with your 4:30 wake up bell. You have your 2 block of 4:30 to 6:30 meditation. You get your little breakfast. You then go into your, like, you have little rest, and then your kind of 3-4 hour block in the middle of the day. And then you sit, you're starting at 4 and you're finishing 9:30 every night. So you're sitting for these 10 hours, learning this technique, and the wandering mind starts coming in, and then you're like taught how to breathe, and then you learn it's like a lot. But with that being said, a little bit about the technique, and what it primarily focuses on is the rising and falling in life, which is anicca. Yeah, I'm sorry for anybody, I'm saying that completely wrong. Anicca is the impermanent action of life. So we realize that everything rises and falls. It comes and it goes, right? And there is birth and there is death. So we understand, or we use this technique as a sort of subject, if I can use that word. We use this technique to understand this anicca. When we start on the first day, the second day, the first 3 days, we start to work just on the breath. We start to feel the mind coming up, our wandering mind. I love Goenka when he talks in these discourses. He's a really funny guy. He's really awesome, and he's so wise in his words, and I feel really blessed that I've been able to even have these videos, which are actually free. This whole course is also free, by the way. It's a donation-based course. We'll get into that at the end. But when he starts to talk about like focusing on the sensations, and that's the first 3 days where you're just literally focusing on the breath, and you realize all these thoughts. Well, for me anyway, my experience, I'm going on the experience of myself. I always say this wrong. Experiential. So experiencing, my English is getting so bad. Experiencing, rather than just knowing everything intellectually. You have to experience this technique for yourself. You really have to understand, okay, like my thoughts were wandering. As I'm starting this Anapana, I'm breathing. And then you go into the 4th day, and you're like, you start to learn the Vipassana meditation. And personally for me, like the Vipassana on the 4th day was so strong, and I'm going to go back into a little bit of a backstory, which I really want to get into, why I realized that this technique changed my life. And this is a really amazing story, where I lost my father to suicide about 8 years ago now. And I have always been blessed to be that person or that child that was always having to do something. So I was practicing Iyengar yoga at 13 because I wanted to. And then the universe brought me to Ashtanga yoga in about 2012 as I was super depressed living in Finland as a ballet dancer. Very much, I love in India, there's always some festival happening. So sorry about the noises, guys. I am in Palitana, as I said, in India, where I did the course. But coming back to what I was saying, like I was living a very egocentrical and like everything revolved around me and ballet. And I started doing Ashtanga. And then in 2015, I met a teacher who I went to a retreat with in Greece, and he introduced me to Vipassana, observing what's there, observing your reality, not what your reality should be or what you want it to be. And I realized during that time that I was able to take out in the depths of my, they call it the sankhara. So I was actually pulling out those roots, those deep ingrained sankhara, which is basically the root of all of our misery. How amazing is that? When you understand that these aversions and cravings that are based on, you know, your reactions when you aren't feeling your sensation, when you feel the sensation, you understand as a human or as a sentient being that these sensations, they rise and fall. And I love this. Goenka, he says, we are human beings. We are able to feel that. Animals, they are not able. We have the capacity where we are able to observe ourselves equanimously, with awareness, and just observing objectively. So we're not visualizing, we're not manifesting, we're not, you know, using words to, you know, say this will pass, go away, go away. We're not averting anything and we're not contracting anything. We're sitting, we're allowing the sensations to then on the 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th day move through the body from head to feet and from feet to head, and then allow those sensations to rise and simply fall, to understand that this too shall pass. So this too will leave the body. And we just keep working on that. And slowly as we work on the body and slowly as we feel these sensations arising, we objectively observe everything. So say I have a pain here and it's really like it's coming up, and I'm observing my anapana, my breath. I'm observing equanimously my, you know, my samadhi, and I'm, you know, creating punya. And I'm just allowing that to arise and fall, right? So you're asking me now, like, what is this punya and everything? So let's take it back a step. So I just talk a little bit about the technique. And the beautiful thing is you go into the course and you take your first thing. So when you really start this course, you take your shila. So you have your 5 precepts that you know, they ask you, are you ready to do this course? You really need to set your 10 days to be there, because it's not so great if you like leave the course in the middle, you start this deep meditation. So the 5 shila that you really have to, you know, you give yourself up. There's no lying, there's no killing, there's no stealing, no sexual misconduct, and no drugs, and of course alcohol, tobacco. So you already start with the foundation. Anything that wants to grow in life needs a strong foundation. Before we can build a house, we need the foundation. So you take these precepts, right? And then this turns into samadhi. So you go on the next step, which is the entire technique. So you have the training that you really need to work on. Yeah, the only way to get success is to continue working on something. So that's why they say you need to be sure that you can really stick with this for 10 days. You know, the first day you go in, you give up your phone, you give up, you know, your laptop if you have it. No reading, no writing. You take a vow of noble silence, which means you don't look anybody in the eye for 10 days. You know, when you walk, you're in a walking meditation. You are aware in every given moment as you walk, aware of your sensations in your body wherever you are. You know, to create this this liberation, this getting out of our own misery, getting out of our own way. I had my teacher, he used to say, Vipassana is getting out of your own way. Being on the Dharma technique, or like learning the Vipassana technique and being on the Dharma, the noble path, is you getting out of your own way. But the only way to experience is to do the work. Do the work. Start again. I love going to, he's always start again. Every day I was like waiting for that when I was like getting frustrated. So then you have your samadhi, which leads you ultimately in that moment to any given wisdom. So we always have the possibility to decide, you know, in which direction we're going to go in this moment. Nothing about the past, nothing about the future, but we create our reality. But we always bring it back to the current moment. So you continue working on this technique over the days, and there's days where Goenka says second and sixth day, and for me it was the second day. I wanted to leave. I was like, oh, I can't do this anymore. But you slowly start to, it's all about purifying the mind and decreasing the ego, getting, rid of that part of you as well. So I can say from my experience, there were a lot of hard moments, but I'm super grateful, and there was a calling inside. My inner being was calling me to do this for the last 2 years, where it never worked out because, of course, you have to really commit. You have to be there. You cannot be with your client. You have to be able to take time off work or whatever it is and just say, maybe next time you're going to go on a holiday, don't go on a holiday and go to Vipassana meditation. As I said at the beginning of the video, it is donation based. So you can give whatever monetary, value you want to give. If you have $10,000, and if you have not so much money, then you don't have to give anything. You're given the food. So you have your 2 meals, I would say 2.5, little snack at around 5 p.m. So you have your morning, your breakfast. It's all vegan, vegetarian, at least in India. And I'm pretty sure, yes, the Dhamma path does include no killing, so at least vegetarian. And then your lunch, so you get that from 11 to 12. So it's all provided for you. You go in, you commit yourself, you really commit yourself to this technique of being there and surrendering yourself. I was in a solo room. I had the privilege of that, but maybe sometimes there's going to be dormitories. You have your bed, and you are working on yourself. You're there to free yourself from the misery of your own misery, which in turn then creates this feeling of freeness, peace, lightness, where you feel so happy. And it's so funny because it really gives you a tool to use for the rest of your life. And this, Goenka said there's like 1,000 steps on the noble path to nirvana, to liberation, but taking the first step is one less than going those 999,000 whatever to reach the final goal. And if you've come into contact with this video, and if you've come into contact with Vipassana, then deep down that there's a good karma that has brought you to this, and maybe there's a reason that you watched this video and you've been thinking about it. So I would say go for the course. It's absolutely, Vipassana changed my life. And on day 4, I had to cry as I was sitting there because I have a lot of pain in my legs, and I was like, don't move. Like, I had to do it for my father that I lost, and for my teachers who had given me this, and for humanity. And it becomes something so much bigger than yourself, where I'm really excited for the next period, because it changed my life, and I believe it can change everybody's lives. And I really would recommend the course for everybody. As I said again, you don't have to pay for it, so there's no reason not to go and try it out. Like, give it a go. And yeah, I am so grateful, and I wish everybody so much love and so much peace, and that you really find true happiness and true peace in being able to, on a scientific level, work on yourself and really see that you have so much potential, and there is no need for all this suffering and misery. And once you achieve that, and your heart just opens, and you also learn on the last day the metta technique, so loving compassion for all beings, including myself, which is universal love, and like loving and kindness to all on this planet. May all beings be in peace. Anybody who I heard, there's also a forgiveness meditation we do. Then you can only, in the end, feel good once you're taking this path of nobleness, noble path. So guys, that's my video for today, and I hope that you derive something from it. I hope that you share this love, this Vipassana with somebody. If you want to share this video, if you've been thinking about it, then I would say get onto the Dharma website, book your course, get in there. Once you start, I'm pretty sure you're going to want to continue doing the technique. I would really encourage it. And we'll see us very soon. Until then, so much love and light to you guys. We'll see us then. Okay, bye for now.